Little Demon. If you guys weren't aware, I've been following this series episode by episode over on the second channel, and the season has now ended, so it is time for me to talk about why I love Little Demon. Oh, and just to let you all know, I'm going to try and do that more often. Follow a series on the second channel, then when it's over, make one of these on the main channel. Now I'm looking at The Owl House Season 3, oh no, and looking at Rick and Morty Season 6, oh no. By the way, those oh no's was because those seasons aren't coming out consistently. Little Demon is an adult animated show from FX created by Darcy Fowler, Seth Kirshner, and Kieran Valla. It was promoted as from the co-creator of Rick and Morty, which had me very confused at first until I finally realized after the last episode that the infamous Dan Harmon was one of the executive producers of this show. It has Danny DeVito playing the role of Satan and his daughter Lucy DeVito playing Satan's daughter Chrissy. This show had a lot of controversy when first released. You can just Google or search the title on YouTube and everything is saying Disney satanic, Disney is brainwashing our kids with Satanism, Disney is making Satanism more popular. But guys, it's not a Disney show. I know Disney owns Hulu and FX, which makes it technically one, and outside of America, this is on Disney+. But it's as much of a Disney show as Family Guy and The Simpsons are Disney shows. Like, we're not counting just any show now, right? Throughout season 1, this show has had its ups and downs, but overall, I do think I like this show, so let's go ahead and talk about it. This show intrigued me quickly from episode 1. While it's not the most original, Hazbin Hotel is also about the daughter of Satan, but I think this first season did enough to make it stand out in a crowd of offspring of Satan shows, which I guess is a genre now. Episode 1 set things up well, with puberty being the thing that awoken Satan and set this whole thing in motion. The mother played a huge role within this as protector, caregiver, and honestly, a foil to Chrissy, our main character. Then after episode 1, as most adult animated shows do, it switches to an episodic format, where each season is its own little adventure and very little, if anything, carries over. At least that's what they make it look like early on. Episode 3 was the first episode I cared about. It consisted of Satan bringing Chrissy to this game show to grow their bond with each other. Chrissy wasn't feeling the game show at first, but once Satan started showing her how to use her powers a little bit better, she started enjoying it and they were bonding for a moment. Until the host came out and mentioned that Satan needs Chrissy for the ceremony thing mentioned in episode 1 that I can never remember the freaking name of, because his powers are getting weaker. It was up to Chrissy to save his life, but Satan tricked her because after everything was all over, he just got up at the end and brushed everything off like it was nothing. I appreciate this episode a lot because it showed us the depths that Satan would go to get Chrissy on board. And it shows how human Chrissy is because she mentions that she doesn't care that he's Satan, all she needs is a father. But if he keeps trying to trick her, he's gonna lose that bond as well. Episodes 4 and 5 are very similar to one another. But that I mean the plot for both stems from an argument that Laura and Chrissy get into, which by all means, they fight a lot verbally within this series to the point where I got tired of it, but was scolded by one of my commenters because I saw people argue with teenagers in real life. It keeps happening and no character growth happens afterwards. But this isn't real life, guys. This is an animated show, okay? So character growth has to happen. Episode 6 was really beautiful and the beginning of the end of the season for these guys. Satan's dog is dying. The one he got from Laura. Its one wish is to see Laura one last time. So this whole episode is a big introspective moment for these characters, showing that even though they cannot get along, they will deal with each other when it's for something or someone they both love. Also, it was probably the most well animated episode in a series that mostly looked like it was done in Flash. In these past few episodes, we've been seeing Satan grow more and more than any other character. He can't go out and kill with his friends anymore because every human he sees, he pictures Chrissy. He is actually starting to care for her, which makes you wonder if he'll continue to do this whole ceremony thing since she'll have to be sacrificed for it. At the end of episode 6, Satan goes into some secret locker room to show the audience a picture of Laura and their dog, which signifies to us that he still cares about Laura, he just doesn't want to show it for some reason. Episodes 8 and 10 is where storytelling took over the episodic format. Now we seemingly will have everything wrapped up in a nice bow for us, right? Chrissy gets into one final argument with Laura, and this argument was the worst of them all because it's the one where things got physical. So physical, in fact, that it destroyed the entire fucking house. This was big for 3 characters: Laura, Chrissy, and Satan. Laura and Chrissy was on the verge of making up, but so Satan can have Chrissy for this ceremony thing, he revealed the potion that Laura tried to drink to turn back time before she had the chance to sleep with Satan, which did in fact cause Chrissy to leave. I only have one problem with this. Satan's character reverted back to what we saw in season 3. We're not seeing him fight for Chrissy like he did in episode 7. He is actively being the instigator because he only wants Chrissy for her to sacrifice herself, which you can argue was probably his motive for this whole time. It just really looked like some character growth was happening, so I am confused. I'm not going to spoil the entire ending. If you want my episode reviews, they're over on the second channel. You can check those out. It's Scooter 2. They're right there. But what I will say is that we got a lot of neat character moments within these last couple of episodes, all just to end things like the season started, with Laura and Chrissy together and Satan being the third wheel they don't want in their lives. And honestly, I kinda just wanted more from this. Everything felt good to grade up till those moments where things just kinda end in an anticlimactic way, which sucks because it feels like it was building up to something special. Nothing screamed, Darren Harmon is one of the executive producers, like this ending did. Rick and Morty is known for blueballing its fans to thinking something crazy is going to happen, just for them to go back to status quo eventually, and that's kinda the feeling I got from the last moments of this show. Overall, I like this show. It brought something decent into my life, and it gave me the opportunity to test out some things on the second channel that I've been dying to test out for a while now, and I have a shit ton of episode reviews on there, which is just nice to me. The main selling point of the show was character interactions, which is probably the thing I look forward to most within shows. Story matters. Story does indeed matter. But if the characters don't develop and help each other grow throughout the story, something will just feel lost, and both kind of failed at the end of this show. Both Satan and Laura refused to grow on the last episode of this season. Immediately after revealing they still care for each other, they take it back just as quickly when it's time to go get Chrissy, and Chrissy and Laura just tell Satan to leave and get out of here, which is just weird to me. It feels like this season was building up to Chrissy being in danger and Laura and Satan putting their differences aside to go save her. Afterwards, they'd have this new dynamic for season 2 where Satan lives with them now, but we only got 3/4 of that, and I just think it could have been more. If you are wondering if you should watch Little Demon or not, sure, it's not a bad viewing, but don't expect anything major from it. Watch it on your own leisure. You'll probably have some fun with it that way, just like I said, don't expect anything major from it. Lean back viewing. But with that being said, that's basically it. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I hope you guys enjoyed Little Demon if you did actually watch it. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your opinions of this show in the comments down below, and I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can. Maybe. Potentially. Okay. Goodbye.